Yeah, I'll just start with how excited we are to be here. And first day of practice yesterday, just a lot of excitement around the program right now. A lot of eager players to get started with 20-hour-a-week segment and get going, and probably even more eager to Friday be out in front of Husker Nation again, and to have our fans be able to get a kind of a sneak peek of our team, get introduced to our roster, and enjoy a really fun night and a fun weekend in Lincoln, Nebraska coming this weekend.
Coach, obviously it was a while ago, but how beneficial just was the Greece trip to you guys just getting to know one another and spending time together?
Yeah, I think we're so grateful for the opportunity. It was just an amazing trip. It was an amazing shared experience that we learned a lot about each other, and maybe just as valuable as the 10 practices that you get to prep for Greece. And we didn't have a lot of male practice players available to us in the summer, so there was a lot of time to go up against each other, and it's a pretty competitive summer, and I think just a really good experience for our team, and we pulled a lot from that, and so we're going to lean on that as we get started here early with a really challenging schedule.
What was one of the biggest things that you learned about your squad over that time?
I think that it's a group that I know is going to compete and then celebrate each other's successes. And from my experiences, those two things in combination really lead to good things for culture. And if you have teams that want to get after it and compete and can be competitive, but still really be excited for each other when they're doing well, that usually equates to really good things down the stretch.
What are the restrictions of Allison with her knee right
now? No restrictions other than we've just been trying to be really smart about watching her load levels and ease her into full load, just to keep her from getting too fatigued as we're working her in. But she's full contact and doing every drill that everybody on our team is doing, just monitoring that load and trying to keep her at a certain level as we kind of bump it up week by week.
Obviously it's September 26th, but how have you seen the chemistry with this new group come together after losing a couple starters from last season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously those two starters have been a huge part of our culture for the last 4 years, and so there's no way to really replace Sam Hybe and Izzy Bourne. But what I've seen is just great leadership emerging from players like Jazz Shelley and Maddie and Ani Stewart, and just several other of our returning players just really kind of stepping up and learning how to be vocal as leaders and understand what Alexis Markowski, just understanding like what we want this program, this team, this season to look like, and being able to be vocal about that with our newcomers it's been really special to watch.
What's your big focus during the preseason?
Our big focus is to lock in defensively, and I think the girls can kind of feel it, and we've been probably committing a little more of our practice plan towards defense than we've done in the past, but trying to increase our focus on being a pretty intense team on that side of the ball, and so that's something we really want to pay attention to heading into the preseason games.
How much did the Greece trip allow you to kind of be ahead at this point of the season already in your preparation?
Yeah, I mean, I think in some regards it really has. Those extra 10 practices. It's the first practice yesterday. We were doing a lot of things more advanced than what we were a year ago on our first practice. There's no doubt about that. But I think, we still have some things, Jess Petrie, who's our freshman Australian incoming, was training and playing in the World Championships this summer. And so these are still her first practices. And so it's kind of really good for her, a player like her, to have everybody else on the team that kind of has had a little bit of repetition on some of the things, and they can all kind of pull her over to the side and be able to help coach her up and get her up to speed. It helps that she's a really high IQ basketball player and picks things up very quickly, and but just trying to kind of mesh some of the new pieces still, even though we had those extra games and practices this summer.
Going off that, what have been your impressions of Jessica Petrie as she had to join a little later this summer?
Yeah, I'm super excited about her. I think she is, as I mentioned, just really a high IQ, and she's picking up different terminology very, very quickly, and she's had a lot of really good basketball experiences and played for some really competitive teams, so that has allowed her to adjust easily and quickly, and so just really excited about her abilities to be coachable and adjust and fit in and mesh with our team, both on and off the court quickly.
How important has that Australian pipeline been for you in your program?
Well, I mean, I think you can just look at the fact that, Jazz Shelley was a first-team all-conference player last year. Izzy Bourne, an honorable mention all-conference player, on our record books for all-time rebounders, and no doubt about it that we've had some great players come through our program from there, and we're going to continue to have some great players come through our program from there. So definitely something that we'll want to keep that pipeline coming.
When it comes to Jazz, when she was making her decision last year, how nervous were you through that? How relieved were you when she announced that? And how much does that really raise the expectations of this year's team?
To be honest with you, obviously we were really very, very excited when I still have kind of some of the pictures and celebration videos from my office when she told us that she was officially coming back. But we care about Jazz as a young woman, and so we were going to be supportive of her just like we were Izzy Bourne with whatever decision was made. But now that she is a Husker for another year, we are even more excited to, I think our team obviously is going to benefit from having her leadership and her abilities on the court, but in addition to that, we take it very serious that we're focused on helping her develop and lead this team to where she wants so that she can get the experiences that she came back for.
Your impressions of Dariana White so far in graduate?
Yeah, she is a pistol. She's just kind of a little water bug. She has just pushed pace. She is picking up offense quickly. She plays on both sides of the ball almost every time that everybody else on our team is kind of fatigued and their tongue is hanging out of the side of their mouth. She's just still going, just bouncing around. And when we maybe have struggled a couple possessions offensively, she's going to make a play, get a steal on defense, go down and lay it up. She just has a knack for making plays, and really think she's going to play a big, huge role for us, and excited that she's part of the program.
What's it been like working with Julian?
Yeah, Julian is high energy, so it's super fun. He complements our staff really, really well. He's just full of energy and juice, and he brings that to practice every day. And I think just a really, really good compliment for our team as a mentor and as a as a dad, and it just does a great job of just filling in with our staff and picking up some things that complement the rest of us.
Amy, what do you just like about this team so far?
What I like about them is that they want to work, and they still know how to have fun, and so I think that's something that is, when they know what it takes, but yet can still come in with joy on their faces, and that they're having fun, and that they can smile and laugh mistakes off and be able to move on to the next play. I think that's been the most enjoyable part so far.
When you reflect on last year's season, when you lost Allison, what did you miss most about not having her out there, and how much can she really toughen your team now that she's back?
Yeah, Allison just sets the tone, and I think that's what we missed most. I mean, her ability to kind of get up and hound defensively and put some pressure on, and that it really kind of inspires the rest of her teammates to do the same and to play with that same level of intensity. But when you look at our win at Maryland last year, and she had a double-double and was, led our team in rebounding and was just all over the place, rebounding down the floor, making plays, pushing tempo, creating shots for, Jazz hit a bunch of threes in the second half of that game, but most of it was Allison led because she would rebound and really collapse defense and then kick out and find Jazz in moments. So I think, players like Jazz benefited from playing with Allison. Players like Alexis Markowski benefited from playing with Allison, and so I think just having her back and the things that she does well and gaining confidence each and every day, it makes a huge difference for the rest of our roster.
I know you can't speak for her, but did you feel like you had to keep her spirits up at all last year when she was going through that, or did she stay pretty positive when you saw it?
I was thrilled with the way she approached it, and yes, I've been through knee injuries myself, and personally, and with several players that I've coached, and so there are certain things that I'm kind of on the lookout for, and things that we try to prep for, and that I had plenty of conversations throughout it about just the mental approach to recovering from an injury like that. I think all of that probably helps, but in the grand scheme of things, that kid is one hard-nosed, tough-nosed, competitive kid, and I had no doubt that she was going to approach her rehab with the same competitive spirit that she has every race she ran as a track athlete, every basketball game she's played, every sporting event she gets into. It doesn't matter if we're playing sand volleyball against our softball team. Allison's going to come out there to win, and I love that about her. But that's the same approach she had with her rehab.
I mean, given kind of the disappointing way last season ended, do you sense any extra little chip, extra motivation of some of the players who are back and kind of want to right the ship this year?
Yeah, I think so. And obviously, we were disappointed to not be in the NCAA tournament, but we also had a couple of postseason wins last year. So I think to really talk about the disappointing way that the season ended, I think I'm proud of the way that we were able to fight through and advance to a Sweet 16 of a postseason tournament. But obviously, I think our team is really motivated to show that we deserve to be playing in the NCAA tournament, and that's something that we're going to have to prove every single day. Today, this afternoon, when I go to practice, I mean, it takes what it takes to be in that tournament field, and that's what the message will be today at practice. It's what it's going to be next week at practice. It's going to be the message when we play Maryland to open our Big Ten slate. It's going to be every single game on our schedule is just we have to bring that every day. It kind of does. It kind of does. But, I think our players are super eager. Coaches always feel like, we're going to play in front of fans on Friday. So we definitely have some things that we probably need to sharpen up before then. But so excited about it. So excited. It'll be here November, first game before we know it. So.
Amy, you mentioned Maddie kind of moving into more of a leadership role. Is that more due to her kind of having a year under her belt in the program now and kind of being settled?
Yeah, I think so. And the fact that Maddie Kroll is the only player on our roster who's played in a Sweet 16. I mean, she has earned that with the experiences that she's had before she got to Nebraska and now that she's been here. And she played a lot of minutes for us last year because she does the little things right. And the players respect that when they watch her do all those little things right every day in practice. And so she's just got more confidence in our schemes and defensive schemes and wherever everybody's supposed to be. So she's pretty vocal about directing everybody where they're supposed to be and helping them get there. And she just has a calmness about her that her teammates respect, a competitive spirit, and that equates well to really good leadership.
Anything else, Coach Williams?
Thanks, guys. Yeah.